This is the ultimate crime-fighting champion, Hurricane Helms, and you're listening to IYH Wrestling. And if you're not, what's up with that?
And on the phone with us is Primetime, Elix Skipper. Welcome to In Your Head.
That's right. That's right, baby. You know what time it is. This is my house.
I believe you built this house.
That's right. I got houses all over the world.
This is the house that Elix built. Tell everybody, check out PrimetimeElixSkipper.com. It's the official website. Yeah, it is.
That's right. Got the new shirts out. Make sure you check it out.
Yeah, I saw those today. That's cool. Definitely cool. And TNA's big pay-per-view, December 11th, Turning Point. Do you have a match for that one yet?
Actually, I'm going to find out Tuesday.
Oh, cool.
What is going on?
Yeah, you definitely have to have a match.
I heard some baseball players coming.
Oh, really? To the show?
Yeah.
You
trying to get our shine on Spike. We're going to have to, me and Dave have to do something about that.
Do you know what players yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I heard a little bird whispered in my ear.
Cool. So, what do you think about the Diamonds in the Rough tag team? You enjoy that?
It's going to take some work because we got to get the people to believe in us that we can do it. So we're going to have to hurt a couple of people and beat a couple of people, and then they'll know, we're serious.
Yeah. Well, let everybody know they can call in at 508-644-8503. And you can ask Elix a question if you like. Were you upset when they split up the Triple X team?
Yes, I was probably TO'd.
Yeah.
We put a lot of work and time into that deal, and we didn't go in to lose, but we lost. So, there's nothing we can do but move on. So either this Diamonds are Rough, it'll work out, and if that don't work out, then I'll just do singles.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put my all into Diamonds in the Rough, and we'll be on top just like Triple X was.
Yeah. You think
Triple X split? Did you feel like you wanted to focus on a singles career, or did you just want to go with the flow and see where it took you from there?
No, actually, once we split, I was going for the X belt, and then Chris was going for it too. So then we decided we was going to do it together, and then we'll, face off. But then he ended up screwing me, so then it wasn't even about the belt. I just wanted to beat him down, and just to let him know that you don't turn on family, because he's my brother from another mother. So I was just put him in his place from oldest brother to youngest brother, but. I wanted the belt at first, but then it was more important to teach Chris a lesson.
Right.
So that's how it, that's how it turned out when we split up.
You think they'll ever reform Triple X down the road? Maybe like a one-time thing?
Hey, you never know. Never say never in wrestling because people keep forgetting. They keep thinking Triple X was only 2 people. It was actually 3. So when they disbanded us, they always said me and Chris couldn't get back together. So, what happened to me and Loki?
Yeah.
Still Triple X.
You think Loki will ever come back to TNA?
Hey, you never know. I know he's doing a lot of things with Japan, and I worked with him on Long Island about 2 months ago. So, things are open. Anything can happen.
I think, Andrew, you had a question about Japan?
Oh, I was just wondering what it was like working in Japan. Did you enjoy it?
It's totally... Yeah, it's totally different from the States. When you wrestle over there, they analyze everything you do. They're quiet, and they're trying to see whatever you're doing, making sure it makes sense. And if it does, then they'll clap or they'll stand up and clap. Sometimes you get the rowdy guys like over here, but it's totally different, because over here they always yelling and screaming, but over there, you can hear a pin drop. That's how quiet it is.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
We have a caller on the line. Who is this? You're on the air with Elix Skipper.
Hey, this is Raven.
Hey, Raven. You got a question for Elix?
Yeah, Elix. You mentioned Triple X earlier. I was just wondering, while you guys were together, what was it like working with Loki and Christopher Daniels?
Oh, it was great. Actually, they were scared to put us together because they said it was like 3 egos, and they said we would clash. But we put everything aside.
Action.
Yeah, actually, we put our egos aside and did what we had to do, and we were like the tag team at that time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You guys are definitely TNA's best action ever.
Thank you.
You have a lot of good teams to work with too. What was it like working with AMW? I said you guys had a lot of good teams in TNA to work with as well.
Yeah. Actually, I'm working with AMW. It was like pulling teeth.
Really?
Pulling teeth working with them. We had but the thing with it was, we love wrestling so much, they love wrestling so much, so it was one of those deals where you just get in the ring and see what happened, and next thing you know, they were just saying, like, we were having, like, the greatest matches. But we would argue and fight in the back, and we just brought it to the ring, and I guess, the attitude we had in the back just showed in the ring. And everybody said, well, whatever you guys doing, just keep doing it because it's working, so.
Yeah.
It definitely worked.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, when we got in the ring, there was no love lost. There were days when we were bleeding or, somebody got kicked in the whatever, they started dripping blood, and, it was just on. It was just, all right, let's go. Let's do it. I know what we here to do. Let's do it. So we had fun.
I know you got my vote for the TNA's, I think it was the most exciting moment of the year for walking the cage. That was insane. I jumped off the couch, started screaming when you did that.
Oh, thank you. You don't know. I wasn't scared to do it, but when it was time to do it, I never thought about the landing. They kept trying to tell me how high. Yeah, they kept trying to tell me how high the cage was. Like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Don't look down.
They was like, what do you have planned? I was like, oh, nothing. So right before I went out, don't do anything crazy. And I was like, oh, don't worry. We're not going to do anything crazy. Because, 18 months prior, we did a cage match. And I told them I wanted to walk the cage, and they exited. They was like, no, it's too much risk. Somebody could get hurt, blah, blah, blah. So this time, we didn't even tell them. So when I was standing on the cage, you can imagine, all the suits in the back, when they were watching, they was like, holy shit. And then when I pulled it off, and once we went black, what people don't know is everybody from the back poured out on the rampway, and it was just great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Were you more scared, watching that, on tape? Thinking, man, why did I do something like that?
Yeah, that's what ran through my mind. I wasn't scared, but I'm sitting up there, I'm like, holy shit. To me, it felt like forever. But when you look at it, it don't seem that long. But I couldn't stand up at first because the other two were fighting at the other end, so the cage kept swaying.
Yeah.
And if you look at it close, you'll see that when I stood up, I had both my feet together. Anytime I stand on the ropes, I'd never have my feet together, but that was the only way I could stand on it because they was fighting at the other end, and it kept shaking. And then all of a sudden, you just see me take off because they stopped shaking for a second, so I hurried up and went.
Yeah.
But I watched that so many times on tape, and I still, to this day, can't believe I made it with them two fighting at the other end of the cage.
Right.
I'm glad you did.
Well, thanks for calling in, Ari.
Okay.
Do you think having the six-sided cage made it sturdier than if it was a four-sided?
I think so because you have more corners.
Right.
It probably would have shook a lot more if it was the old ring that we used to have.
Yeah.
It would have been less fighting if it was the old ring.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to stand up on it.
Mm-hmm.
You got thrown off the top of the original cage to the floor a few times, if I remember, during that match.
Oh, yes. That's how I know. I hit that floor twice from that height. So, and imagine standing up on it, because I think I was hanging off of it when I fell the other two times.
Yep.
So I imagine standing, taking a bump from there to the floor. I wouldn't get up fast, so I wasn't even thinking about falling. Just hurry up, get to Chris. As soon as I got to him, you could see, I jumped on his neck and hurricane riding him. I was so happy. And then as I'm coming down, I'm like, shit, I need to pan out. And then I hit the mat. I was like, damn. And then I heard the crowd screaming. They was like, holy shit, best move ever. Holy shit. And all of a sudden, the adrenaline started flowing and the pain went away. And I got back up.
Cool.
And I was like, damn, I couldn't believe it.
Are you used now to working in the six-sided ring? Was it hard to get used to it?
I actually, once we first got it, it was like a bunch of us that just got in the ring and started playing around and seeing what we could and couldn't do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the fact that it's six sides just gives you opportunity to do more things. Like walking the ropes is easier now because it's sturdier, because you have more poles. Before it was harder.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't understand that. I was like, oh, I love the six sides.
Cool. You still do indie shows, right?
Say it again?
You still do other independent shows?
Oh, yeah.
Is it weird going back and forth from the four-sided ring and the six-sided ring, or it just doesn't make a difference?
No, it's just like when you do smaller rings. Like some rings are like 16 foot, 18 foot, 20 foot. It's just you know what you can and can't do with certain rings.
Yeah.
But it's no big deal.
Yeah. So is it a proud feeling when you guys got on national TV on the Spike deal, since you've been in TNA for pretty much since the start?
Yeah, actually, it felt good. we did Fox Sport Net, but Spike
Right.
is so much bigger, and the fact that we got WWE old time slots, so it was really a good feeling, and we just can't wait to beat them.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, get better time slots, get 2-hour shows, go head to head with them, and just see who's the best. You know, who's the best? Because we all know they've been out longer and they've been doing it forever, but you know, our style, like you can watch them, and I'm not taking anything away from them, but our style is just a little different, and I think that's what we bring to the game. And you know, head to head with them for a couple of months, I'm sure we'll get the fans hands down.
Yeah, right. Because you watch the shows, you can tell that everybody in TNA is going out there and just giving everything they have just to entertain the fans. But you know, at the back of your mind, it's how we're doing compared to these guys.
Yeah. We all, you know, it's different because I've been in a bunch of locker rooms. I've been with, you know, WCW. I've been with WWE and I'm with TNA. I've been to All Japan. And our locker room is like, you know, you go out there, people are like, when they say, come on, do a good job, you know, they mean it. It's not like they're saying it to save face and as soon as you walk out there, they say something behind your back. Everybody wants TNA to do good because if we do, it's going to benefit everybody. And plus, the best part about TNA is, you know, we started with the company. So if it's 20 years from now, TNA is still here. It's there because we helped start it.
Right.
Did you experience a lot of that in WCW? How guys would tell you, go out there, do the best you've got, and as soon as you were gone, they started talking down to you with the management to try and take your spot.
I think with WCW, it was all about spots because when we came from the power plant, a lot of guys didn't like us because, they felt we were taking their spot, but we were just trying to get a job just like everybody else.
Right.
And we were just going out there, doing what we do, and some of us was doing different things, and, we ended up getting, more TV time than other people, or some people didn't care as much as we did. We were hungry. We were hungry then, and we're still hungry now. And that was the difference with some of the guys that was always on TV every single night. We wanted it bad, and I guess they got used to it, and we was willing to do whatever it is they wanted us to do.
Kimbo in our chat room, he wants to know if you have any stories about Buddy Lee Parker.
Oh, Sarge is the man. First of all, he did my tryouts. And I don't know for what you guys heard about a tryout, but it's 3 days of hell.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if you make it through the first day, first of all, the training school, it was designed to break you down. You couldn't pass the first day unless you was physically in shape. And then the second 2 days was just mentally, because your body already broke down after the first day. So the second 2 days was just mentally. You had to physically keep pushing yourself, to make it. A lot of people thought, hey, I want to get into wrestling, not because I love it. I want to get into wrestling to make the money. And that school was designed to make you, get the guys who really, really wanted it. If you just wanted it for the money, you wasn't going to make it. But if you wanted it because you loved it, no matter what, you would have stuck it in. And, that's what the power plant was made of. And that's Sarge, Buddy Lee Parker. That's the way he pushed us. And years later, he explained to us why they did what they did, to make us, to weed out the people who loved it and didn't love it. And, to this day, I still love wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
There were stories all over the place for years of after the first day, there would be guys out in the parking lot outside the power plant on their knees crying.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys ever saw the show. There was a Weird Weekend where they
Louis Theroux.
Yeah, Louis Theroux. He spent a weekend at the power plant.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys ever saw that or not. It was on Bravo.
I didn't see that.
Oh, it's a good show if you ever can catch it on tape.
Okay. No, I never saw that.
All right.
I did. That doesn't help the interview much.
When now you were part of Team Canada in WCW.
Yes.
Did they ever think about putting you in Team Canada and TNA?
No. Actually, thank God for Team Canada and WCW because that got me out to school. But it's never been talked about in TNA. And I joked with Scott D'Amore saying, people still remember I was with Team Canada and WCW. We should do a deal one day where, we come out and something happened and, next thing you know, I'm back with Team Canada. But they got so many players in Team Canada now and TNA, and they're so talented. They don't need any help. I personally don't think they need any help because they're doing fine with the people they got.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still get a lot of people that think you're Canadian?
Yeah, actually, they still think like I played football in Canada and everything. People still ask me those questions. I'm like, no, it was all a work. but I see that big ring on your neck. I said, yeah, but that ring I got, once I made it in WCW, I bought it with the first check. It wasn't a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Man, that wasn't a CFL ring?
Say it again?
That wasn't a CFL ring?
Yeah, the one WCW had, it was a fake one. It wasn't a real one.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if
but
you
I
still
have
had
a ring. Yeah, but I have a ring that's around my chain that I always wear out to the ring, and people always think, it's the CFL ring, and it's not. That's my personal, I made it ring, and I'm happy to be here, and that was the one day I just I made it, and I'm celebrating, and I'm keeping it, and it always remind me of wrestling.
Do you think they should have pushed Team Canada and WCW bigger? Because it was really over when they first started it.
I guess they was doing different things or whatever, but I guess the way they started off, it was really strong, and we was actually on everything. I mean, we always had something to do with something. Everybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wrestled everybody with Team Canada. So to me, it was big as it could have got, and then they just started doing different things. And then that's when Vince wanted to do the Cruiserweight deal, and then the Cruiserweight tag team, and I was a part of that, so they kind of pushed me away from Team Canada and wanted me to, heads up in that. So, I guess it was just time to move on.
Right.
Was Lance Storm a good person for you to be around, getting into wrestling on television?
Say it again. Who's a good person to be around?
Lance Storm, was he like a good influence on you in your career?
Big time. Working with Lance, I didn't have to worry about anything because Lance was, he was just good. I mean, he was on top of everything. He always knew what we had to do. He was always strict about working out and staying on top of his game. And I was new in the business, so I always tried to look good. I always kept jumping in the ring, trying new stuff. And Lance was the same way. I mean, he was so professional, it wasn't even funny. But it was great to work, with Lance. My first time out on TV, it was great. I wouldn't change anything.
Oh yeah.
Do you know where the idea to put you with Team Canada came from?
Oh yeah, Vince Russo. He had Lance so far, and he had two other people originally from Canada that it didn't work out with, and then he said I would fit right in with the group and what he wanted to do, because he wanted like a new but strong cruiserweight, and he said I fit the profile of what he wanted to do.
Yeah, it was a good fit because you had the all-around worker and like Lance Storm, then you had the strong cruiserweight, and then you had the big man with Austin.
Yeah, that was the deal.
Yeah,
and some of everything.
And then Jim Duggan, which kind of freaked me out.
Yeah, we were kind of confused about that one too, but I guess he had such a great fan following, and they wanted to turn him, and then they turned him back. So I don't know.
Yeah. Did you get along with Russo at the time?
Yeah, oh man, I love Russo. Russo is. I mean, I could be in the back and I'd be doing something. He'd pull me aside and say, we already got one Lance. We don't need another Lance. We need a prime time, so be prime time. So he always, he always made me feel comfortable. Like the first time I did the match, my second match with Kidman, he didn't see the first one, he saw the second one. And he said, why are you not on TV? And he said, you should be on Nitro on Sunday. I said, well, they said I'm not ready. And he said, well, if you're not ready, half the people that's on TV are not ready. So he just helped build my confidence like you would not believe. Yeah. I mean, like my character have an attitude, but my ego, dealing with Vince, he just, he helped push me over the edge where I wasn't nervous anymore, and I was going out there having fun instead of worrying about, what I'm going to do or so on and so forth. It actually turned into fun, with Vince pushing me and guiding me, and helping me out.
Do you think he was a good fit in TNA?
Who, Vince?
Vince Russo, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Big time. But there was other things that happened and so on and so forth, and he didn't want to get in the middle of it, so that's why he ended up, getting out of TNA.
Yeah. What do you think about the change in the bookers now from, like, Dusty Rhodes to Scott D'Amore?
Whatever it takes, as long as there's good stories and people are buying it and our ratings keep going up and up, I'm all for it. The ratings are not going up, then they need to fix it. Fix it before,
right.
We lose the fans that we have. Fix it because we want to, knock WWE off the pedestal, and if they see there's a problem, they need to hurry up and fix it before it gets worse. So,
yeah.
As long as everything is good, and everybody's happy. As long as we, take them out, everybody's going to be happy.
You really think you need a 2-hour show, to get everybody involved on the show, get people over maybe?
Definitely. We got to have at least 2 2-hour shows, or 1 1-hour show and definitely a 2-hour show, just to show them that we can do it.
Yeah.
So we can go head to head, so people have a choice, not just, well, I'm watching WWE because there's nothing else to watch.
Do you have a question from the message board?
Yes, CJ Styles, he wants to know if you and David Young, do you all plan on going for the tag team titles?
Oh, of course. Right now, me and Dave need to get on the same page, and then once we do, it's time to start knocking people off. So we need to get, in sync and know each other back and forth, just like me and Chris did. We can just look at each other and be thinking the same thing, and that's the page that me and Dave need to get on.
Mm-hmm. I forgot to ask you when you said you wrestled in Japan. I think I read somewhere that you wrestled under mask.
Yes. Extreme Blade.
That's right, Extreme Blade.
Extreme Blade.
Did you like working under a mask?
I had to get used to it. It was one of those things where, like, I'm used to running up the ropes, not from the corner, but right from the middle and things like that. And it's hard to kind of see the ropes with the mask on because I had mesh over my eyes.
Right.
That was something I had to work on. That's probably the only thing I didn't like about it. But first mask they made me was way too small. I couldn't breathe. But the second mask they made me was much better. But I've never had anything over my head, so it was just something they said I had to get used to.
You have another question from the message board?
PHU 420, he wants to know what it was like working with Mike Sanders.
Oh, well, actually, it's weird because Mike Sanders, when I was going through the tryouts, Mike was one of the guys who was, like, doing the drills and so on and so forth. And then once I made it, then, of course, it was him, Sarge, Pez Watley, Michael Winner, and Jody Hamilton, Mr. Assassin. They worked with everybody. So we kind of grew up together. He started a couple of months before me, but it was fun working with Mike. He was funny back then before he was on TV, and then he was even funnier on TV, but he was always, a funny person. And talking about him being funny, now he's a comedian, and he's doing really good.
Oh, really?
Yep, he did a couple of shows in Florida.
Nice. Above average Mike Sanders was one of the high points of the later days of WCW to me.
He didn't last long in TNA.
Oh, when did Mike start?
Yeah.
I started back in June of 98, so he probably started, I think, in March.
When you said you were part of the WWE locker room, were you one of the guys they picked up when they bought WCW?
Yes. Which never made it to TV. All they did was take us to a school and had us train for, I think 9 months or 6 months, and then they released us. Then 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Then 3 months later they released us. Around Christmas time they told us they was going to release us.
Well, a lot of people said online and the Observer that they wanted to retrain the guys that train in the power plant. Is that what they wanted to do?
No, actually, to be honest, I don't know what they wanted to do, but it seemed like they were trying to break us down.
Yeah.
To make us humble again, and we were already humble because at the power plant we was training there not making no money whatsoever. So it was like you had to have a job, then you trained, and then, you worked out, and then you did it all over again. So you can't get any humbler than that. That's starting from scratch, not making nothing.
Right.
And then we went to the new school where we were getting a salary and still training just as hard and doing shows on the weekend. And then Vince came here. We were doing Saturday shows, and then we made it to, Nitro on Thunder. But I think they were just trying to break us down, but we were already broken down. So.
Yeah. Did the a lot of the WWE guys there? Did they treat the WCW guys bad? Is that outsiders, or were they pretty good for the most part?
No, not down at the school. We would get different guys coming to talk with us, and Dean Malenko would come. Chris came. Eddie was there, and they all came down to work with us. But we all remember them from WCW. Right. So we all worked with them before, but it was just good to get in the ring and work with them again. There's some guys, I guess since we did come from WCW, they just thought they were better or whatever, But my deal was I can put anybody in the ring and blow them up. I don't care how good your cardio is. That's just how we came up. Because before wrestling, I did kickboxing, and I could go in the ring, so it didn't matter. So if your deal was, you was going to do whatever and beat me up, you had a surprise coming. Because what Sarge taught us was, if they don't let you get nothing in the ring, all you got to do is blow them up. Once you blow them up, they'll let you do whatever it is you want. So.
That's good advice.
Sometimes you have to take it.
Right. Yeah, another question from the message board?
Let's see. Hambone, he wants to know, is it easier or harder doing the walk across the ropes or the cage?
Actually, the cage was easier because the ropes move a lot more than the cage did. It was easier to walk the cage, except for the cage is just higher,
Right.
higher risk. So if you fall, holy shit.
It's worse looking down from the cage.
Yeah, the cage is oof. It's like I remember standing up there and I could like see the lights almost by my head. It felt like they wasn't close to my head, but I just felt like, like they were so hot, like they were so close to me. It was like, damn, I'm really high up.
You got a question, Barbie, from the message board?
Let me see.
Are you still there, Barbie?
I'm still here. I just,
which crowd did you prefer, the Nashville one or the Orlando crowd?
You know what? They're both about the same. Nashville, actually, you know what? I prefer the Nashville one, only because those were more wrestling fans. And when I say that is because sometime in Orlando, you get people just passing through, they don't have nothing to do, so they stop in. They hear, oh, it's wrestling, let's stop in and see what it is.
Right.
But in Nashville, those were wrestling fans, and they came to see wrestling. It wasn't like, it's a theme park, this is something going on today, let's check it out, And I'm not saying that the fans in Orlando are not wrestling fans. Some of them were, some of them are not. But in Nashville, you knew they came here for one thing and one thing only, wrestling.
Yeah.
So I would say Nashville.
Yeah, we've had some other TNA guys on, and they've pretty much said the same thing. If they said usually the pay-per-views, though, it's more, real wrestling fans show up for the...
For the pay-per-views, you got people flying in and so on and so forth. You look out to the floor, it's like, people, shoulder, there's no room, and it's like, yes, we did it again. Yes, just keep doing it.
So TNA's definitely the best at locker room for, like, camaraderie.
TNA, the locker room is the best. The best locker room I've ever been at. And with that being said, now that we have, like, a lot of guys crossing over and so on and so forth, I'm hoping, that we all stay together and mesh together, that we don't divide. We all got one goal, hopefully, and that's to get TNA on top, or for whatever reasons, or because you got some people in TNA because, they want to help crush WWE, and then you got other people over there because they got fired. But I just hope, they got TNA in mind, because if, we all get TNA up to the next level, then we all going to make all the money that we want to make. So, that's my only concern.
Yeah, I thought that was really good in Christian Cage's promo on the pay-per-view, because he really put over TNA.
Yeah. Yep.
Anybody in TNA you'd like to work with that you haven't yet?
I did a match with Monty, like maybe 2 matches. I would like to do some serious matches with Monty. I would like to do Abyss. I'm like itching to wrestle Abyss so bad. And I keep, saying, hey, I need to wrestle Abyss, And they're like, well, if you wrestle Abyss, we're going to have to fire Dave, which means they're trying to tell me, well, right now we want you to do tags, get this going, and then we'll see about that. So I just got to wait. But I'm dying to wrestle like Monty, Abyss, those guys.
Yeah. I'll hit do this, but we have to let you go here pretty soon. So is there anything... Well, we got another caller at 7.
One last question from me. You're a strong guy, you're a fast guy, you've obviously got an extensive tag team experience behind you. In a perfect world, which division would you put yourself in TNA? The X division, the tag division, or the world heavyweight division?
Actually, me being in TNA and I see the heavyweight division and I see the X division, I'd rather be in the X division, only because, the heavyweight belt is a more prestigious belt, but the X division is one of them divisions where you either have it or you don't. And, it's about no limits. It's about style and so on and so forth. And that's the belt that, that intrigues me. That's the one that I want. And, I know it's not the biggest belt, but, that's the class that I love. And, you don't know what's going to happen in the X division. It's like damn, that's the belt that I love. I love that division the most.
Yeah. Well, in TNA, really all 3 belts, they put a lot of importance on all 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they do.
But you've got the opportunity to build up the prestige of the X Division title now as TNA.
Yes, we do.
Goes forward.
I think Samoa Joe has really helped out the X Division, too.
Oh, man. Oh, Samoa Joe. I mean, I've seen him on tapes, and now he's with, TNA. Oh, I can't wait. I did a match with him, but it was, I want to do a program with him. Oh, I love his martial arts. He does shoot fighting, too, and all that other stuff. I do the same stuff, so it would be very interesting for us to do a program together.
Is there anything you want to say to your fans before we let you go?
Hey, I just want to tell everybody out there, keep watching. This is my time. It's prime time, baby. And TNA is what it's about. If you hear it from the beginning, just stay to the end because we're going to turn it out. We're going to be on top sooner or later.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on. We'd love to have you back sometime.
Absolutely.
No problem. You got it.
All right. Could we just keep you on the line real quick while we go to break?
All right. You got to take care.
All right.
This is Magnum TA. Whenever I want to get all the ins and outs of what's going on in wrestling, I listen to InYourHeadOnline.com.
Hello, this is Ruby Guerrera. Hello to all my Juicy fans. This is In Your Head, in my juice, in your blood. Keep it up, and God bless you all. The Juice.